Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time, once again, finally doing another film review. And this one is on March of the Penguins. Now, as you know, March of the Penguins, or as it was known as in France, Le Marche de la Pendre, which was, a 2005 French feature-length nature documentary that was directed and co-written by Luc Jacquot, as well as having Morgan Freeman be the narrator of the sort of film documentary. And the best way I would say about, March of the Penguins was doing something that I think was more challenging and at the same time a bit of a bold move, turning a documentary into a feature-length film done right. I think unlike Super Size Me that went around pointing the finger, I think what Luc Jacquot was going for was showing how penguins staying together to stay alive, working like a family and a unit. And the best way I would sum up the whole point of the film is about working as a family and a unit, trying to survive as well as work together, and at the same time trying to make sure to help your kid on the straight and narrow. So the whole premise of the documentary is meant to follow, emperor penguins coming together to their breeding ground. We see how, despite struggles, pain, and hardship, we see how the emperor penguins still try to look after their chicks, they still try to make sure that they're alright, and throughout the whole film is about them surviving the dangers, natural problems, as well as trying to work together as a family and a unit. And I think this is most likely in real life, because with most families, they still try to work things out as a family and a unit. They still try to band together. And at the same time, when the kid gets older, they leave to fend for themselves or try to find their own place to live. And I think really penguins are a lot like us, because sometimes when we're part of a family or a unit, we have to work together. We have to make sure to try and manage things, avoid possible problems and dangers, and try to work things out like an actual family and unit. So I think having Morgan Freeman as the narrator isn't a bad idea. You really get the sense that he has to try and sound like this more wise, understanding, and at the same time, guy who has to be this hard truth thing. And I think Morgan Freeman is a good actor when he has to be in certain roles, because when he had to play Alex Cross, he can sound like this wise, caring, and at the same time, wise sort of detective. You got this feel when he played Alex Cross, he sounded like this more guy who was by the book. He knew the situations that were in hand. So I think it being a documentary does fit his style, because it's him speaking the hard truths of what penguins, as well as their chicks, would have to go through in Antarctica. And mentioning how Antarctica was once a tropical, like, land kind of reminds you, once you lose something, when you still try to manage things despite it being a losing battle, you still try to sort of keep moving forward, much like what I think the Emperor Penguins did. And again, is March the Penguins a good film? Yes. But I think it's one of those films that's just there for educational purposes, something to keep littler kids more entertained. So I think the film still deserves a thumbs up. Still good, still enjoyable, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.